everyone, it's Jade here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome if you are new. In today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my completed pages for May. So I've got a lot of mermaids in here. I've got the doors open, so if you can hear a bit of background noise, it's a lovely sunny day in the UK, so I'm making the most of it. So you might be able to hear a bit of the birds singing. But without further ado, let's jump into this video. So the first picture that I've got to share with you is from Enchanted Faces, Mermaids, Fairies and Fantasy pocket-sized colouring book by Hannah Lynn. So in this one, I decided to go with this lovely little mermaid with some fishes. So I'll bring it up so that you guys can take a closer look. So I really like how the hair came out on this one. I love the sort of purple colours that I used. And then I tried to do her skin like really pale, so it looked a bit more contrasted to her hair. So for this one, I used the touch markers, so alcohol markers, just to do a base on the hair and sort of the fish and these little underwater flowers. And then for her skin, I used the Brute Ferner macaroon pencils, which are all sort of like pastel colours. So I used that to do her skin and her eyes. And I also used that to add some shade into the hair, so on top of where I'd added the markers, just to give it a little bit of like a highlight where the actual marker was left. So it looks like she's got a bit of a highlight in her hair. And the fishes was done with the alcohol markers, and then the background I just used a greeny blue pencil to do that. And then I went in with a bit of white Posca to add a little bit of highlights, and then I used a silver gel pen to fill in the little border around the edge. But I'm quite pleased with how this one came out. I really like her hair, and I really like how her eyes turned out as well. I think they look quite cool. So that was this little tiny page. Okay, next we've got one from Lulu Mayo. So this is A Million Magical Creatures. And this page I did was this one. So this is the page with the lovely firework display at the top. And then we've got all these little frogs and unicorn mermaids in the sea. So for this one, I used the Black Widow pencils. So I used them to do the sea and the boat and the frogs and like the woodwork and the red on top of here. And then for the actual mermaid unicorns, I used the Artex pencils because I didn't really have any colours in the Black Widows that I wanted to do the mermaids in. So I used the Artex pencils for these three little mermaids at the bottom. And then for the fireworks, I used some glitter gel pens. So hopefully you guys can see there's a bit of a sparkle to them. And then I used glitter gel pens to fill in the unicorn's horns as well. Don't know if it's picking up on camera. And then I used a bit of white Posca just to go around the sort of breaking waves in the sea and to add a few little dots into the fireworks to make them look a little bit more sparkly. But yeah, this one was a lot of fun to colour and I'm quite happy with the final result. So that's that little page. Then next I've got one from Hannah Carlson. So this is Tales from the Midnight Masquerade. So in this one I decided to do this side. I was actually going to do this side, but then I decided to do a picture just using all of my different blue pencils that I've got. So I thought this one would be better to do all in one colour. So this is the final result. So yeah, it was quite a lot of fun to do, trying to pick different coloured blues. So more sort of lighter blues to add some highlights in, and then using the slightly darker ones to add some shade in. And then for this background up here, I used some soft pastels. So just a darker blue and a lighter blue. And I went in with a little bit of Posca pen, which is probably cheating because it's not blue. But I wanted to go over these little bubbles to make them look more like bubbles. And then, yeah, for her hair, I went with darker colours so that it made a bit more contrast to her skin, made her stand out a little bit better. But but I'm really happy with how this one came out, and I am working on a video for this one, so I'm just editing it now, so it should be up probably next week. I think that I'll be finished and up so that you guys can have a look at this and see how I did it. So yeah, that was this page. Next I've got one from 50 Ocean Miniatures by Camellia Angel Cover. So this one I did as a buddy colour with B colours, and I'll link her in the description because she's got a YouTube channel as well. So we chose to do this page here. So this was the page that we both did, and for this I used the touch markers as a base just for the dolphins and the fish, and I did the cat mermaid all with the Artex pencils, and then I added some shade to the dolphins with the Artex pencils. And then for the background I used my distressed inks, so I kind of made this bottom bit look like it was under the water, so like a bluey green sea colour. And then I used my Posca pen to add like a wave line here where the water was breaking, and then added some clouds in with the blue distressed ink, and I used a stencil to get these cloud shapes. So I'll just bring it up so that you guys can see. I think the clouds came out really well. It's the first time that I've tried the stencils in the book, so I was quite happy with that. And I was quite happy with the effect of like the water breaking as well. So that was that one. And I'll insert a picture now of B's finished page. Okay, and then last but not least, I've got this unicorn colouring book, and I always forget who this one's by. I think her name's in here somewhere. Edwina McNamee, that's her name. So this is the page that I completed with another unicorn mermaid. So I'll bring it up so you guys can see. So for this one I used the Hoo markers, so they're watercolour markers, they're not alcohol markers, so they're not supposed to bleed through, but as you can see it definitely bled through. So I don't know if I could use them in any sort of like double-sided, you know, colouring books. If there was a picture on the other side it would have ruined it, so bear that in mind. But I used them to do like a base on some of these sort of like underwater leaves and different corals and flowers and things. And then for the unicorn mermaid herself I used the Arteza pencils, and for her tail I tried to do it like a gradient effect, so it's darker purple at the top and then it gets lighter as it comes down to the end of the tail. And for her hair I did darker purple at the roots and then like a lighter pinky purple for the ends. So I was just sort of playing around with the blends there and trying to sort of see how it would look. But I'm really happy with how she came out. I think she looks really nice. And a lovely little shiny unicorn horn as well. And then for the background, I used some Arteza watercolour paint. And as you can see, this is like printer paper. So it's really sort of like buckled. But I think once I've like let it press down, it should flatten out. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. So yeah, I did that. So I used like a darker teal colour at the top and then blended it down into a lighter blue for the bottom. The sand I did with the Arteza pencils, I always find that they have really nice colours to do the sand in pictures, so that's what I used for them. And what else did I use on this page? I used the Inklab acrylic glitter pens. So I went over these stars with some glitter, and then the little dots I went over with a blue glitter. Hopefully you guys can see the shiny stars and the little blue dots got a bit of sparkle to them. And this orange coral at the bottom, I added the little dots in sparkly as well. And also the dots here are sparkly ones. So hopefully you guys can see that. And then I just used some Posca pen to go around the unicorn herself, so that she didn't have any black lines, and to go over her little wings here as well. And I left them see-through because I thought they'd look quite nice as like a see-through wing. But yeah, that was that page. It was a lot of fun to colour. So that was everything that I coloured this month for you guys. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next video.